Hi, this is Tawana Lawrence, and I'm going to do my essay on Merchant of Venice, the Guest Who's Coming to Dinner essay, the one written by Kenneth Hall. And I chose her essay because of how she connects with social and economic biases. She talks a lot about that, actually. She expresses the idea that one doesn't exclude the other. She talks about Hall's position is that they go hand in hand. The story shows both biracial and economic relationship issues. And what she does, she makes it clear that though they're different, they do connect. And though they connect, social bias, from what I've seen and in her essay, is more prominent then and now. Hall uses the post-colonial criticism, which looks at issues like religion, power, and culture, and looks at the anxieties of mixing different religions or cultures. Hall talks of bias between Shylock's Jewish daughter and her Christian love. As an example, the thought of the two marrying was not supposed to be in Shylock's eyes. She was only to be with a Jewish man. Any other kind of culture or religion was just not acceptable to him. And you can also see that kind of thinking with Lancelot and the Moor woman who was black, whom he had slept with and eventually got her pregnant. As is brought up in the conversation, it's very clear that that was not to be done as well. Hall also looks at connection with the economy. She connects the economy with those biases. And the way she does it is by going back to the Queen Elizabeth's day, where they had slaves that were there that were needed, not just to do the job they didn't want to do, but to do the extra work that was needed to garner the extra money. They had extra work that was there, and with that extra work would garner more money with that work being done. And to get that work done, they needed more people, which was where the slaves came in. And their belief was if there weren't enough slaves, that it would cause an economic decline. So basically, the slaves were only there to serve and to help those that were more fortunate than they were. So there was the more powerful over the less powerful. And the two races mixing together or getting together to equalize, that was part of what they believed caused the economic decline. And Hall speaks on that in a way that makes it seem as if it can still be prevalent today. Definitely. And Chinua Achebe, who is an African author, he focused on those similar biases, on the culture biases. He looked at things as well through post-colonialism views. He explored the racial biases of Africans versus white people. He noted the symbolism in books like Heart of Darkness, where black people were noted to be the darkness or the negativity. And all the things a lot that was going wrong, that was the bad, was the black people, and the white people were the good. And he looked at changing that bias with his literature. He wanted to represent Africans in a more realistic light, or in a more realistic or favorable light. And looking at how things, as I look at that essay, and how things are now, how they measure up, the essay speaks definitely in the battles that we face today. Most definitely, it's very prevalent. There are many cultural biases that exist today. And I do see your point in the anxieties of those perceived cultures and the perceived powerful and less powerful. But however, she misses the mark with the economic connection. There was an economic connection in the book itself or in the play itself, but it was only there because of Shylock's mindset and his views on what it should be, not because that's what it actually was. And in Christianity's views, that just doesn't gel with that theory. God teaches us that all are equal and should work together to build each other up instead of tearing each other down. That there is no one better than the other. That as we work together to become stronger, not weaker. And that we will only be stronger as we work together. That's God's view. So God's views basically is like a 180 of Hall's views, or the views of the story itself. And Hall's views, they're definitely understandable and relatable because, again, their views are very prevalent still today. There's still the biases are still there very much today, and it makes it easy to see where she's coming from. And the cultural issues, like I said, are prevalent. That were prevalent then are just as prevalent now, but they should not be. The issues that were created then and now are created by a worldly point of view. And the point of view that a Christian has to have can't be of a worldly view; it has to be of a godly perspective. A godly view, which is under one body, one God, one body, unified together under one. We're all one. We're together in love. And that's the view that we're to have. That's the best view to have. It's the only view to have as a Christian. And that's the difference between Hall's view, the view of the story, and the view of now. And that's the connection, the cultural disconnect, as the Christian cultural disconnect, as opposed to the worldly cultural disconnect.